Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW. Thank you, everybody. Let's jump right into it, though. You know who it is. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, alongside with the Sable here. We also got a very special guest tonight. You know him as the man of a million names. Tonight he is the moderator.
Yo, what is good? The Yoga Demon is back with a new nickname, Moderator Chew.
Moderate Chew. I like it. The reason we're bringing him in is, well, first off, tonight we're discussing the games we play by Limitless Friday night at 8 p.m. on exclusively, that is right, on IWTV. It is going to be such a phenomenon. We're bringing in Moderate You because he's never seen a Limitless event. He doesn't really know much about Limitless. Yes. So we're going to bring him in. We're going to discuss the whole card and see if he might even be interested in watching it after. We're going to have him maybe ask us some questions and see where it goes from there. But he will be sitting in on this.
I'm excited to see how this plays out because I'm strictly just a WWE fan. And I'm sure a lot of people who will listen to this can relate. They're only into WWE. They know there's other options out there, but they just don't have the drive, interest, and motivation to really explore what else is out there.
Oh, the casuals.
Well, I can tell you this. There is nobody more motivated about the independent scene than the Versace Stoner. So, I mean, if you're not going to like independent wrestling after this, you probably never will.
Sad to say Versace, but anyways, I'll read off the matches.
Let's get right into it. So like I said,
I'll take his job for tonight.
It starts off at 8 p.m., but really it's 7:30 with the kickoff match. What do we got for that?
You got the prestige of the Natural Chin and Thomas versus BRG, Brett Ryan Gosling versus the Sea Stars of Ashley Vox and Demi XO.
You know, this is a kind of a crazy match. I don't really know if it actually belongs on the undercard. I mean, these guys are just so talented. But, you know, here we go. Like, you know, we saw BRG in some singles competition last week against MLK. And boy, you know, what a match that was.
Really, it looked very vicious to what a boy did to a girl. And he was so happy, that BRG. So sad.
You know what, though? He's actually a very nice, you know, upstanding citizen. I won't take any BRG slander. Not in front of my presence. No way. But you know what? He's tagged up with the Natural. And the man that I like to say has the best smile in professional wrestling, Channing Thomas. You know, both top talent superstars to break out. And they've been doing great as a tag team together, facing another veteran tag team of New England, the Sea Stars. I love tag team wrestling. This is going to be a great matchup. I think the Prestige is very, very hungry, though, you know, to pick up that W and to really solidify their name in the tag game. What are you thinking about this, Disabled Wolf?
I think this is going to be a very great match, and maybe down the line, I really think we can go to this later in the show, that Limitless, once fans get back, are really going to create a tag team title. I just think that in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. The division is getting stacked. Ooh, that vape is harsh today. What do we got next match up there here now, Disabled Wolf?
We got Rip Bison versus Robert Majer.
You know, this is one of those matches that is just going to probably steal the show. This is a wrestler's wrestler match. You got Rip Bison. He is everything a wrestler should be. You know, he reminds me of, like, the fourth man of Demolition. He is tremendous, okay? He's big. He's mean. He growls. He slams things. Everything that a wrestler should be. and so isn't Robert. And these two are just going to bash heads. It's going to be an old-fashioned, as, you know, a great man used to say, slobber and knocker.
Stone cold, stone cold.
And, you know, I just really think that it's just going to be an overall great matchup. I'm really excited for it. I'm a big Ripper fan. You know, he brings a certain element, like I said, that's kind of lost in the wrestling world. He brings it back to wrestling for me.
He's basically like if Orange Cassidy had a very nasty physique. That's what he is. He smiles every time he beats someone up in a good way, though.
He does. I think he enjoys actually causing pain, and that pushes it. You know, that
he
makes
likes
it,
humor too.
You will catch him smile as he slams you through a table. Yes, you are right there. This is going to be a very physical matchup between these two. I am giving it to Ripper. I think he's going to pick it up. You know, like I said, he is just, you know, something else. I'm a huge Robert fan, though. Ever since I've seen him wrestle in Limitless, he, you know, is very, very, very dominating as well. So, like, he could take the victory, too. I'm giving it to Ripper, though. But who knows where it goes. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. What is the next card on this match? Or the next match on this card, rather?
The team of the Scrunchy Squad, which is Basic, Becca, and Davey Ann versus the team of Ava Everett and Charles Manson.
I tell you one thing, you know, there is nothing basic about Becca anymore. No way. She has crushed it, you know, in the last year, I would have to say, year and a half even. You know, the things that she has been able to do and does, you know, between her promos, her in-ring skills,
her scrunchies,
her, you know, social media posts. She is the total package of the independent scene right now. Tremendous wrestler. Tagging along, though, with, you know, Davey Ann, a powerhouse of a wrestler. You know, a New England legend.
Always brings her A
opinion.
game every match.
That's all she knows is the A game. You know. So you got her and Becca. Yes, they're teaming up against, you know, two very sadistic people. You got, as Doug would say, the Wicked Witch, Ava Everett. And, you know, she picked Charles Mason, another very sadistic individual. They're going to try to cause pain. They're going to try to cause, you know, mischief. But I think, you know, scrungies prevail here. I mean, scrungy power is strong, and you got two, like I said, giants of the industry on a team. You know, like I said, I talk about this all the time. I talk about tag teams, and I talk about makeshift teams. I don't know if this scrungy tag team is going to stay a tag team. I do like their chemistry. I really do. But if it's just a makeshift team, this is one of the times that I am not upset by it. I actually enjoy this one. I actually enjoy watching these two, you know, wrestle together as a team. They are both great individually. They're both great as a tag. So, I mean, I like it.
I agree, Versace. Charles Manson really loves to beat up people he thinks is poorer than him. And Ava Everett has been on a real mean streak lately. She's definitely not a platinum honey anymore.
No, definitely not. You know, since her and Davey had that fallout and, you know, they fought and she was running the open challenges, and even after she lost against Love Doug on the road, I think she's just, you know, has hate in her. She's filled with hate. She's out to cause pain. She could do it. I'm giving it to Scrungy, though. I think they have the power to prevail. But who knows? Like I said, it's wrestling. Anything can happen. I'm very excited for this match, though, as well. You know, I'm a big Scrungy Squad fan. I actually went to Becca's store. She has, you know, a little online storefront. I think it's in her profile.
I gotta get on that.
You do. I went out there. You know, I got some 8x10s, a pin for my hat. And I got myself, yes, that is right, a scrunchie with her actually kicking Davey in the face. How nice. But anyways, they have it all there. You know, go check it out. Support indie wrestling. Buy yourself something and enjoy it. What is the next match?
The next match is brought to you by yours truly, a VSW podcast sponsored match. A tag team match between the main event versus MSP.
You know, I picked this match for a very big reason. You know, I love tag team wrestling. Like, I can't say it enough. I grew up with it. That's what I grew up with. Yes, the regular matches were great, but I always looked forward to the tags. This one is no different from me, folks. Okay? You got two great teams. You got, first of all, the staple of what tag team wrestling is here in New England. That is MSP. I mean, they're just legendary. Their chemistry is on point. They, they're better than the Rockers, in my opinion. In my opinion, actually, if you were to put them side by side next to the Young Bucks, I think they would make the Young Bucks look a little childish, and that's just my opinion. You can feel free to feel you want. This is me. Their chemistry is on point. Their movesets, what they can do, the way they work together is on point. You don't see that a lot. Talk about,
they're basically, you could say, the face of Limitless Wrestling.
They're the face of Limitless Wrestling. They're the face of Maine. They're the face of, in my opinion, maybe even tag team wrestling of New England. You got Middlesex Express up there, maybe too, and a few other, local legend tag teams, but, Young Guns and stuff. But this is really, really it, MSP is just a staple household name of wrestling. With that being said, you're going up against one of the top teams right now, just pure fire. They were on AEW. It's the main event. The circus is coming to town. They're bringing it, and this is going to be insane.
They are known for being in the hit promotion in New York called House of Glory.
They were. Midas Black and Jay Lyon together in this, and they got something to prove here at Limitless Wrestling. And definitely against MSP. They're ready to dance. This is going to be just probably the tag team match of the night, if I had to guess it. I don't know who's going to win. Both teams are hungry. Both teams are capable. I just can't wait for the wrestling. I just can't wait for it.
Well, me neither. That was a great match to sponsor, but are you ready to move on?
I sure am.
Okay. This is another submission specialist. Could be the sleeper of the night. Is Kevin Blackwood versus Matt Mikowski.
I'm really excited for this. First of all, let me just say this. I'm a huge Kevin Blackwood fan. He brings a presence to Limitless that you don't see very often in pro wrestling. He's as dangerous as Ken Shamrock. He is vicious. And he's got the Limitless champ in his corner. Helping him, mentoring him. He's just tremendous. And when he comes out, I have to say, I mark out a little bit for Blackwood. I just do.
Absolutely, Versace. And you get the next match, too.
Well, no, but let me just talk a little bit about Mikowski for a second, though. Because, you want to talk about the technicalness of what wrestling is. And, Mikowski is a technical superstar. He can make you tap. This is going to be a very, very...
And he could target your limbs, too.
He could, but this is going to be a very submissive match. Both of them could do some, not only damage, but long-term damage. Either one of these could end each other's careers with the flick of a wrist and a move. These guys are dangerous people, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be you're going to feel... I think you're going to feel like it's more of a UFC fight than a,
That's
a
how
wrestling
I'm feeling,
match.
Versace. I think if Mikowski does beat Blackwood, it could have him next in line to face Daniel Garcia or JD Drake for the Limitless World title.
That would be a great matchup, and he is certainly next in line. He really is. He really, really is.
Are you ready to move on?
I sure am.
So, the next match on the card is Ken Broadway versus Alec Price. Breaking news, folks. I don't know if you heard Obviously, we're sponsoring one match on the card. We are sponsoring another. We are doing the Alec Price, the Prize OG versus Ken Broadway match. And I am so excited to pick this match up for us. How about you, Versace?
Oh, I sure am. And I am sure happy to travel down to the Prize City. The Prize City OG is one of my favorite, up-and-coming superstars. He's been around a while. He's been great, but he's really been proving himself out there. With that being said, you got him going up against another AEW prospect wrestler who's been on TV.
Ken Broadway.
And he is tremendous. So I think this is going to be a very difficult challenge for Alec Price. But at the end, he's going to find a way to steal the match. He knows how to steal a victory if he can't take it and win it naturally. He knows what he's doing out there. He's no fool. And you know what? He has a lot to prove here in Limitless. He wants to prove it. We saw that brutal match, street fight he had
against AC Romero last week on the main event of the road.
What a matchup that was. They beat the hell out of each other, really giving it their all. So I can only imagine what he's going to do here. Like I said, once I saw this, I just was like, you know what? Just say, well, if I think we need to take another, let's grab this one too, because you know what? It's going to be something special. And I really strongly believe it is.
I think so too, Versace.
That's what I love about Limitless Wrestling. Every matchup is special. There is no just, matches thrown on a card.
Doesn't matter if it's under or over.
It doesn't. Look at the undercard on this. This could have easily been a regular match. Any of these matches can, what I'm saying is, Limitless knows what they're doing when it comes to booking. There is no match on this card that I'm going to say, oh, well, I wish this wasn't there. Or this show would have been perfect if it wasn't for this match. It never happens. Every match belongs. Every match, comes out good. And every match makes sense. That's very rare in the wrestling world. You don't see that in WWE. You don't see that in AEW. People are always complaining, oh, this would have been great if it wasn't for this. So this match was just done wrong. Or this one. You don't hear that out of Limitless people. You don't hear that that much out of it. You just don't. And that's really impressive. Really, really impressive. And it makes you want to watch Limitless even more because I'm never disappointed. I'm just not. And
especially with the road and they use the pandemic to their advantage because you can never get bored with Limitless programming.
Never. You never can.
Are you ready to move on, Versace?
I am.
So you get the second to last match of the night. But before we talk about that, let's preview of our last Q&A was with the man himself, the Emmy Award winning John Alba, and the guy who's surprisingly not booked on the card, the Mac Daniels.
That's right. We talked to John Alba. He, if you watched the road tonight, he had a very strong message for Randy Carver and the Limitless booking team, and he wants to know, why isn't his boy Mac Daniels on the card? He was on the undercard last time. He beat, Love Doug, broke his heart, and now, he's not on the card at all. Not on the undercard, not in the main card.
That really surprises me, to be honest, Versace.
It does. He is very talented, but you know what? They must have their reasons. But John Alba, he is not going to stand for this. He has given them an ultimatum. Either his boy, be on the main card, not the undercard, main card, or, they're going to make themselves known one way or the other, and that could mean anything, and I would be afraid.
No superstar for this that's wrestling on this card Friday is safe.
Nobody's safe. No match is safe. We could see anything happen. Listen, John Alba is a man of his word. We had a great interview with him. There is no reason why I wouldn't believe what he says. So it'll be really interesting to see what Randy does with this and what Limitless does, and if they, give in to his wishes and give him a match. He mentioned maybe another Love Doug match. I said maybe, Dylan Nix. Somebody,
Absolutely.
Mac,
or even Little Mean Kathleen.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a great matchup. But let Mac Daniels, give him a match. I'm all for it. I can see it. He had a victory. He did good. He should be, given the opportunity to continue to flourish here at Limitless Wrestling.
And John Alba had a great interview with us, a sports and wrestling guy just like myself. But one thing I've learned in my interview, I almost started a fight. Luckily, I was saved, was don't ever mention, it's kind of like Voldemort in the Harry Potter universe. Do not ever compare him to Chris Van Vliet, legendary wrestling podcaster.
No, don't mention that. He almost killed you. I feared for your life. Luckily,
I'm sure.
Luckily, he was a little bit calm and he just didn't really get into it, and kind of we moved along. What a mistake. Don't mention that. Everything else, you can go for it, but that
bad
one...
wolf, aren't I?
Do that, yes. One strike against you, Wolf.
Ooh.
So, now, I don't know which way Randy's going to go with this, but it will be interesting to see which way. What do we got now? We got 2 matches left, is that right?
Yes, we do. And the next one's a very big match. Is Lee Moriarty versus Travis Huckabee.
Now, you got Lee Moriarty, the reigning IWTV champion. He beat Warhorse
and he was unable to become Moriarty 2 belts this past pay-per-view at Suffer No Fools.
No, he did, lose to Garcia for Garcia's first title defense. And, Garcia's a fighting champion and a very good champion. But take note that nothing away from Lee Moriarty. He is still a champion, and he is still a top wrestler. Technically sound, everything that you want out of somebody. He is it.
But who knows if he'll have the IWTV championship in a few days. When we go to Beyond tomorrow night with Denver, Colorado, and friends when he defends his title against Wheeler Yuta. But that's another time to talk about.
That is another time. What a matchup. But now, back to that matchup Friday night. What are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts of these are both very heavy hitters, even decent submission specialists and grapplers. Randy Carver does a great job pairing guys that have great chemistry with each other.
Oh, he really does, and that's what I was saying. He knows how to pick the matches. Travis Huckabee is a great wrestler. I can't take nothing away from him. And this is just going to be, one of these guys could be, they're going places. Like I said, Lee Moriarty had the title shot, but, if Huckabee wins this, he might be in line for that title shot against Garcia.
Or if Mikowski beats Blackwood earlier on the show, he could be. Like you
said, he could be. Or maybe we see a 3-way dance. That would be something, too. Huckabee, Mikowski, and the winner.
Maybe there'll be a double count-out or something.
Who knows? We could see something big. There is so much talent in Limitless. It is tremendous. Now, speaking of talent, let's talk about the main event. We got J.D. Drake
taking on, for the Limitless World Championship, the defending reigning champion, Daniel Garcia.
That's right. Limitless is reigning, defending world champion Daniel Garcia. Ever since he captured it from Christian Casanova, he has held it with prestige and held it high. He had that defense against Lee Moriarty and came out victorious in a great battle.
I know they only have 4 champions so far. Maybe too early to say, but it's safe to say whoever wins the Limitless World Championship is going to have big moments in their future career.
Well, look at their champions. You started off with MJF.
The world's most polite person who did something very nice to Chris Jericho a few hours ago, but we'll recap that tomorrow.
We will. On our way to Beyond, we will go through blood and guts. That is true. But now, back to what I was saying, You had the first champion, second champion, Anthony Green, a.k.a. August Gray. Third champion, Christian Casanova, signed by WWE. Like anybody that wins that title moves on. Casanova's not looking... Garcia is not looking to move on, though. He's looking to pick up W's and make a name for himself.
And he wants to be the best independent world champion in the world.
He does, and that's what he's doing. This might be his toughest challenge yet. J.D. Drake, another AEW superstar, or at least, like I said, scouted talent. He has been on there. He is great. He is a powerhouse. He's a beast. And, he's a very dangerous individual. These two guys are going to clash. The styles are going to clash, I think. In my opinion, Garcia is a little bit more technical, a little bit more quick, but, Drake is the powerhouse that we want in wrestling.
Submission specialist.
He is one of the only big men in wrestling left today, and that makes me excited as a, fan of the yesterday of wrestling. When I can see a big man in today's world that can move and can wrestle, I get goosebumps. It's great. And I don't know who's going to win. They both have potential here at Limitless to continue the streak. I think Garcia is, not going to give it up without a fight, though. You're going to have to, knock him out, pin him, maybe stab a stake to his heart. I don't know what you have to do to beat him. He's going to claw his way out. He's not giving up that title. So, J.D.
There's
Drake...
no way he's going to lose it right off the bat either.
J.D. Drake has his hands full. He does. What a pay-per-view, though, this is going to be. And, again, we're really proud to be a part of it, sponsoring the 2 matches, helping out the independent wrestling scene. We got to love it, And this is what it's all about. Soon we will be back. Fans will be back. It's going to be such a special, special moment. When we can gather around the ring at a Limitless event and see all that's been done, on the pandemic and the dojo and the road, and see everything in front of us live. Really excited for all that.
I am too, but I think it's very easy to say that Daniel Garcia is going to retain this title. Nothing against J.D. Drake. I don't think he'll be ready to drop it just yet.
No, probably not. Like I said, he's very hungry. And again, Garcia has the one upper hand as well. He has Kevin Blackwood in his corner, too. They watch each other's back. So you got to remember that, when you're going into this. He's not alone. And he's got a dangerous friend. That's a lot to be said in the wrestling world. That can make the difference.
Absolutely, and we just previewed the whole card for Friday night, didn't we?
We did. The games we play, we can't wait for it. What do you think now, Moderate Chew?
Oh, yeah. If I'm being perfectly honest, I do want to go to an indie show now. Absolutely.
What do you think about the card that we previewed? Any matches stand out?
The main event.
So you're really looking for that Garcia J.D. Drake matchup?
Definitely. Absolutely. And got a couple questions if now's a good time.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Bring it on.
So in regards to indie shows, do you think a big part of the reason why a lot of WWE fans have a hard time getting into indie wrestling is because they've just been so spoiled by the overall WWE content, the appearance, the fireworks, just the overall appeal?
It's kind of a hard... Yes and no. Part of the problem with WWE and the whole, independent scene is the fans just don't know. All the wrestlers today, almost all the main stars that you have on the roster have come from an other promotion. And they're considered an indie promotion,
Absolutely.
And they've all started in lower promotions. This isn't like years ago when, they were pumping out homegrown talent. They did have that capability at one point. I don't think, the capability's there, yes. But like I said, they're picking up prospects. They grabbed August Gray. You can see him on 205 Live. But guess what? He's from the independent scene. He's Anthony Green. That's who everybody knows him at. The people that are watching 205 Live for August Gray matches know him because of Anthony Green. He killed it in New England. You would catch him at 5 to 7 shows in a weekend. If anything, I think the independent scene brought people to WWE for that one. for 205 Live and to see him. It's the same way that it's bringing, AEW fans to Dark and LA Elevation to see, their local people wrestle on TV. It's a big thing. When AC Romero was in AEW, everybody jumped.
Absolutely. You got that right, Versace.
So, it's like I said, it's not that the fans can't get into it. I think they just forget and they just remember, they just get enthralled in the fact that it's WWE and it's supposed to be big. But also the fact that if they're only watching WWE, they're just seeing the talent come and go. You're just seeing a debut name. If you don't go back and look at their name previous, if they've had one or what they've done previous, then, you're just taking things at face value. So you're not going to appreciate, what they did prior. You're not going to appreciate the independent scene. People like MJF, yes, his name stayed the same. So, when you type into YouTube MJF, you're going to see, his Limitless stuff, all the stuff he did in New England, different promotions, and you're going to see all of his AEW stuff. Other wrestlers aren't like that, Some of them that go to WWE, they got to change their name completely. They might be under a mask. You might not even know them. So fans just take these people as face value. They can complain about them all they want, but at the end of the day, they could have been top indie stars, not but a month ago.
Absolutely. I agree with you there, Versace. Well, any more questions, Panch?
For sure. I just want to say, I can see how indie shows can be really enjoyable. It makes you appreciate the wrestlers in a way because, like you guys said, they start at these lower promotions, and these guys wrestling at the indie shows, they could be big one day in other promotions. Moving on to the next question. What do you enjoy more about indie events over WWE and AEW events?
Me personally, the intimacy of it. When you go to a WWE event, even if you sit in front row, you're there, but you're there with a million people. You might see someone possibly, but not really. There's if you're not sitting front row, you're sitting way up, you might not see the ring too good. That doesn't happen in an indie show, okay? At an indie show, you're up close and personal, really close to the ring. You also get to meet the stars at intermission or after the show. There's stars out there selling merch, signing autographs, doing their thing, just getting to talk with them like normal people. That's important. It brings a humanity level to wrestling. It also gives a chance for fans to do things that they could never do in WWE, like meet superstars without paying an arm and a leg. You can meet an independent promotions champion while you're there for, maybe $10 if you want an 8x10, compared, to a $150, $250 meet and greet that WWE will offer you.
Awesome. One more question, and I think that'll be it for me.
Great.
We are almost done, so make this a good one.
Do you think a lot of fans have a hard time getting into indie wrestling promotions is because there's just so many out there?
That could be the case, but in reality, what made it hard is before the pandemic, how Limitless is doing the road. None of them did really weekly programming, just shows twice a month or every other month. And it can be very hard for a fan to get into, especially if you don't go to the shows.
See, that's the thing, and going back what Disabled was saying, I think that is part of the truth, You didn't really have the storylines to bounce off of weekly. So you would rely on the shows on monthly, and some of them wouldn't, even... Some promotions are really good at keeping storylines going, while other promotions are just throwing random shows together with great matches. Unless you lived in that city and unless you know it and you know the people, you're probably not going to go to it. Granted now with IWTV streaming all the great independent wrestling that you can want for that low price, it's a lot easier. You can flick it on, check out a promotion that's local if they have shows up, and watch it. You can see what's live. There's all new live shows almost every night of the week going on. It's very accessible to find, but like you said, at the same time, maybe, the new fan doesn't know where to start. Where do I watch? They might also get confused because sometimes in the indie pool, the talent, the roster is the same. You might see the same people just in a different little bit of a light across promotions. It happens a lot. And it's fine. I like seeing people in different light. You might be the heel in one promotion, face in another, a tag team wrestler in one, singles in another. It's fine. It works from show to show. But your WWE fan or, your AEW fan might not get that and might not understand it. They're used to seeing, either Raw or SmackDown every week. They've been used to it since the 90s, and that's what it is. You got your weeklies and your stories and all of that. Like I said, with the indie scene, you don't always get the stories, and I think that's where it throws the fans off.
Got that right, Versace.
But I thank you, everybody, for listening in. Like I said, Friday night, 7:30 p.m., tune into IWTV, the games we play by Limitless. I hope we've gotten you to order it. Mike Panchu, hopefully we did, because you know what? That's what we strive here at the VSW to do. Introduce people to independent wrestling and, hope they can enjoy it the way we do. It might not be for everybody, but I'll tell you, if you give it a shot, you're not going to turn back.
I'm excited. Personally, I'll take one for the casuals. I'll get into indie wrestling. I'll go to the shows. I'll leave an honest review on what I think. And, yeah, I'm thrilled.
You might be a WWE casual, but you'll probably be wanting to be an independent regular. I can tell you that much. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Watch the games we play, and have yourself a good night. Versace Stoner out.
This Wolf out.